I've recently returned from a vacation in England, and I thought I would share with you what I took with me, my little travel set for sketching and whatever I can fit in as I travel, plus also some of the things I bought that are part of the creative life. I find one of the most fun things about traveling is finding the stores that are so exciting to visit and to be able to bring home something from them. And some of those are museum shops, which have all kinds of the coolest things. So I will share some of that as we go along. My name is Wendy. I'm an artist and an author, and I love to travel. Thanks for joining me. I thought I would start with what I took with me, and this is the little bag that I put everything in. It's just a cosmetic bag from, I think, a dollar store. But I wanted something that's flat and that doesn't take up a lot of space because I'm not taking very much. So I took this little sketchbook. I find this handy. It comes off the book, so you can not lose it by putting it around your wrist. It is a watercolor sketchbook. So the paper is watercolor paper, really nice 140-pound paper. I've only had it a short while, and so I've only used it a couple of times, which is kind of why I took it. And the binding is such that you can actually open it up and lay the pages flat. So if you want to do something across all the pages like I did here, then you can do that. Now this is from last year sometime, so is that one. And I actually find this is what I do every time. I take my art supplies, I might get them out once, and the rest of the time I'm just so absorbed in the traveling that I really don't do much sketching or painting or anything. But this time I went to Cambridge with my daughter, and she was taking a class for 5 days. So I had those days to myself, and I tried to fit in more things where I could sketch and whatever. And basically I just had a leisurely time. I did some shopping, I did some museums and things like that. And then we'd get together for lunch every day because she had a break. And then we'd have dinner, and yeah, we just had a wonderful time. They have excellent bookstores in England, and so I shopped for books quite a bit, but I'm going to leave that for another video. And in this one I just wanted to show you just some quick things. This painting was, and I should have written down what it is. I have to look it up again. It was just a really quick sketch in the museum where you're actually not supposed to have water and paint, and I didn't really realize it, but I did this little sketch quickly and kind of got away with it and put everything away. And then I did a sketch in the Cast Museum in Cambridge, which is reproductions of statues from ancient Greece and Rome. And this is Aphrodite of Ostia, also known as the Townley Venus. Don't ask me why. So this was in Cambridge. I just did that little sketch. And then also I did a crouching Aphrodite's foot, because I was kind of interested that the feet of the statues look so much like my feet, and my feet are wide and hard to fit, and so I thought I'm gonna just maybe I just have antique feet or ancient kind of feet. Anyway, this one I went to the botanical gardens, and they had a fountain there, and I just sat there. It was kind of a gloomy day, but it wasn't quite raining. But it was hot and humid, and so I just sat there and rested for a little while and did that little sketch with a pen. But the pen that I took was, one of them was this one, which is a fountain pen that I actually bought in Halifax. It's a Pilot, and it has a very fine nib. Now, I also put it in my purse. I had a little package of powdered stevia in there, which broke open and is very fine powder, and it got in everything. So I just finished washing it out. So this is actually ink with water in it because there's still water in the works of the pen. And I'll need to just kind of scribble all that water out until the ink comes down. But it's nice and black when it's working properly. I also took this one, which is another Pilot one, and it's not, well, it's kind of dry right now, but it's not quite as fine. And I took a Sharpie pen because I find the Sharpies actually I can use and paint over, and I don't get any paint running. And I took a water brush. I have kind of mixed feelings about water brushes. They work, but I find that the way I've been using them, I tend to suck up the color and then it's hard to clean, and I really need to clean this out. But I also took an HB pencil and I think a 2H pencil. And then I have this travel brush, which I used, and it works like this. So that's very handy, and then you can put it away. I don't think I even used that one because I used a different one, or I used the water brush when I was sneaking that little picture in the museum. And for paint, I took this case. This is a Cotman set by Winsor & Newton, and it comes with its own little brush. And I'm going to try and get this back in here without bending the bristles up. I think that worked. So I took that because I couldn't decide between that and this tiny one, which I have in my art supplies. Wait a minute, it goes like this. It's magnetized and it just pops open like that. And so I used that one to do that little painting. I didn't use this one at all, but I love it because it's just so little and cute. How can you not love it? And I also took this micron pen, which is a 01, nice and fine, and I did the sketches of the reeds in that one. And I think that was all. And it all fit in this little pouch. So I was able to travel with just a carry-on for just shy of 2 weeks. And I bought a couple of dresses, 9 books, and I still managed to close my bag. Didn't do any laundry, but I managed to close my bag. My clothes all lasted, and could close my bag without the expanding part coming home. So, and the reason I went with that kind of system was because I went to Paris and Vienna and Slovakia in January, and I took the same bag, and I had winter clothes in it. And I came home having, I did do laundry because I spent time at my niece's house, so she was able to do some laundry. But I realized that winter clothes, bulky clothes even, I could last for nearly 3 weeks with a carry-on bag, which makes life easier. Anyway, then I went to London one more thing from Cambridge. I was at Queen's College, because some of the colleges, I don't know if you know anything about Cambridge and Oxford, but they have all these separate colleges, and they all have their own area, they have their own residences, some of them have their own museums. I went to the Zoological Museum, the Cast Museum, the Anthropological Museum, and that's kind of how I spent my time. And when I was at Queen's College, which was open for you to walk in and look around, not in the building per se, but in the grounds, they had this tiny store, and it was literally the size of a bathroom. They had some t-shirts and stuff, and then they had some cards, and I loved this one. It's got their crest on it, but it's just a little watercolor and pencil and maybe some ink. It's a little bit hard to tell, but I thought it was so cute that I wanted to bring this home because I collect this kind of thing. I collect other people's art. In fact, this one I bought when I was in Quebec City because I loved the watercolor and how the artist had done these sort of bamboo looking things, and then with the little bits of gold. So I thought, oh, I want to buy this so I can remember about the gold. So there's that from Cambridge. And then I went to London, and we spent about 5 days in London, and I went to one of the most popular stores or famous art stores there called Cornelissen, I guess it's probably Cornelissen. And I bought liquid metal paint so that I could make those little gold accents. I have not tried it yet, haven't even opened it yet, but I bought that, and I'm really anxious to try it. In fact, I think I'll open it right now so we can have a bit of a look. The other thing I carried in my bag was just little tissues like this because you need them to wipe your brush on. Anyway, look at that. It's very creamy, like liquid metal. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna try it. I don't even have any water here with me, but that is beautiful. That's perfect. It's just what I wanted. All right, I'm gonna have to wash this out pretty darn quickly because I think it is acrylic based. So that I bought at Cornellison, and then we went shopping. We bought some more books. I bought my dress and some other things. We went to several museums. We went to the Victoria and Albert Museum, which has a fabulous gift store. We spent actually most of the day there because it has like different sections. There was a show on of Cartier jewelry, the diamonds and all that, but unfortunately that part was sold out. However, they did have another jewelry through history. They're all like small museums within a museum. So we went through that and it was just dazzling because I love sparkle and I love gold and jewelry and decoration, things like that. So we really enjoyed that. I have some photos of that. There's a glass section, like the history of glass, and it's amazing how far back glass goes in history. And there's antiquities and there's Asian and there's all kinds. Anyway, when I was there, I bought this, which is kind of, I don't know if it has a name. It's just Koh-i-Noor, which is the manufacturer. Versatil, it's called anyway. And it works like this. Push on the bottom. And it just, this is basically just a gripper, and a spring pushes it out. This is chalk, which I used to draw these paintings, which will be coming up in my next video. And I thought, okay, this is fun, but it also has, I also bought the artist leads, which are white, russet sepia, light brown sepia, dark brown sepia, drawing charcoal, and graphite lead 4B. This perfect little box. So I'm going to use something sharp maybe. I did try one of them, but I want to see what the sepia looks like because I have not even tried these. I've been home for a week or so. You have to be careful not to break these things. So I can just run it in here like this, and then out far enough to be able to draw with. Not too far, because if it sticks out too far then it's more fragile. And then, so for drawing, these are wonderful for shading. Nice and soft. Anyway, I thought it was just such a cool item. I had never seen it before. Apparently, I just haven't been looking in that direction. But let's see what these ones. I'm going to try the dark brown. I'm getting stuff all over my fingers now. Okay, let's see. Wow. That's amazing. What great tools for sketching. Anyway, I'll see if I can find something similar online or on Amazon and put a link down for you if you think this is something that you would like to add to your toolbox. Anyway, now I've got dirty fingers, but I can get rid of that pretty quickly. So I want to put the chalk back in, but I'm going to put it down so it doesn't even show. That way it protects it from being broken. And let's put this to the side now. The other thing I bought at Cornellison, oh, I kind of went around the corner here, didn't I? So we went back to Cornellison because I had seen these on my first trip. They're 100 sheets of 150 GSM watercolor paper, handmade cotton rag paper. And I just thought it was so cute. And my daughter had said on a previous trip that she had taken, she bought the same thing in gray, but I like these. And what I'm thinking of doing, and I would really love your feedback on this, I want to do some tiny pieces like this, show them either in a video or in a membership on YouTube. I'm kind of thinking of doing the membership, and then you alone could watch these videos. I haven't quite decided. And then each one will be for sale, but they're all originals, not prints. So it would be one of a kind that you can actually order from me. To that end, I also bought this at Cornellison. It was, you know how they put things on the counter that are, not very expensive? I'm like, okay, that was just tricky, because I bought another one of these tiny brushes, which will be perfect for this kind of work if I'm out and about, but mostly I work in my studio, so I'm not too worried about that. But it was one of those things that was just sitting there saying, take me home. I'm too cute to leave here. Anyway. Okay, one more thing. We went to another great big store called something graphic. So it was a graphic design store, but it had every kind of thing for graphic whatever and art. And it was 2 floors and huge and fabulous. And I found this paint. Now, I've been thinking about using this paint for some time. It's a vinyl paint. I've been wondering how it works with acrylics. This is called Royal Blue Vinylic Emulsion, extra fine, velvety, high covering power. And the reason I bought it was because I was looking at these and thinking, oh, I wonder if I should buy some of those. And then they had a sample board, and it was good on paper, on canvas, on blah, 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 and on leather. And I was like, oh my goodness, here's my answer, because this is the wallet that I use all the time. It is getting old and pretty shabby looking, but it's so practical because it has like different sections in it all over the place, 2 places for bills or receipts and all that kind of thing. I don't want to get rid of it, and I have never found anything that's as good as this. So when I saw the paint, I thought, there's my answer. It's not exactly the same color, but I love this periwinkle blue. And I'm going to paint my old wallet with this paint and see how that goes. I hope it goes well, because it will solve 2 problems for me. Number 1, to see how the paint works, and number 2, to clean up my old wallet. So it wasn't a huge shopping trip in terms of supplies, because I have actually a lot of supplies, and I've kind of put myself on a moratorium. It's like, don't buy any more canvases. You have so many to paint already. Don't buy any more paints except to replenish colors, Don't need any more brushes. What I have now are working really well. Don't need any more pens. But then, you go on holidays and you see something you've never seen before, never used before, and gone, okay, this is my souvenir of London. At least that's how I justify it. And I've already used them. So there you go. Please subscribe to my channel and click the little bell. Like I said, I'm an artist and an author, and I do things that are inspirational, just talking to the camera, and I do things that are art related, and I just love connecting with people. So please click the bell and leave a comment and click the little thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.